और अब आगे बढ़ते हुए मैं आमंत्रण दे रही हूं प्रोफेसर माया चक्रवर्ती जी को। आप सिम्बोसिस इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मीडिया एंड कम्युनिकेशन उसकी डायरेक्टर हैं, बेंगलुरु से आई हैं। आपसे अनुरोध है, आप अपने विचार हमारे मध्य रखें। आदरणीय माया जी।
Yeah, I'm laughing because I'm the last speaker. Finally, मेरी बारी आ गई. So, thank you, respected Om Prakash ji. जो बचे हैं ढूंढ रही हूँ उनका नाम, डॉक्टर मान सिंह परमार, then Rajiv Ranjan Nag ji, then Kamal ji, you have come back, thank you so much. Chandrakala Ben, Shantanu ji, fellow communicators, and Jo Bache Kuche hai, thank you so much for being here. I am reminded of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar said, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. So I am also in that plight. I am requesting you. He was a great orator. I cannot claim that. But thank you so much for being here. And, I am in a very unenviable position this afternoon. Number one, I'm the very last speaker. I'm standing between you and lunch. So that is one. Number two, by virtue of being the last speaker, whatever I wanted to say has been said by almost everybody here, both last evening and this morning when we started, and now it is afternoon. So, but I can assure you that I had put down my thoughts. Believe you me, I had taken a printout. So I really also am saying something which was original for me, but then the topic being what it is. Everyone has something to say and which is on similar lines. So therefore, though I am not from the fraternity, I am rather new to Brahma Kumari. I only did the website search to, see when I was asked to join here as a speaker. So whatever it is, spirituality, I think, is the underlying link which really connects all of us. And that is one. And finally, this was not poetic justice because I'm a very impatient person. So being asked to speak the last was really testing my patience. So therefore, thank you so much for being here. And talking about power of transformation, whether it is the media, we are all in the communication profession. I'm a PR professional and I'm also heading Media Communication Institute now, an MBA program. So let me start off with greetings to you from Bangalore and from Symbiosis Institute of Media and Communication, Bengaluru, which we are a part of Symbiosis International University. And, I believe that I am carrying coal to Newcastle by talking about the power of transformation, positive power of transformation, because this is where it is really in a spiritual congregation like this, a spiritual institution like this. This is where it all happens. So this is truly the power center of the power of transformation. And I'm sure, even though I think I can count about 100, or maybe let me be ambitious and say 200, the people who are sitting here, the kind of palpable energy that I have been experiencing since this morning is so very static and so volatile that they were talking last evening about putting up a solar plant, I'm sure with the energy that is being generated here, you can light 1,000 villages at least, 1,000 homes at least. So that is the kind of positive transformation that we are talking about. I would really like to salute the one initiative of the Brahma Kumaris. Here I'm going to take the liberty of quoting Dadi Janki, which is posted on the website, and therefore I also did my homework. She talks about the one initiative as the initiative to awaken and open the mind, the intellect, and the heart in bringing about positive personal and world transformation. I would really endorse this fact because from the point that I arrived in Ahmedabad, from when Sarlaben, Brahmakumari from Hyderabad, who was the one who really invited me here, unearthed me rather, and invited me here. Thereon, and from there, and Shantanu ji and all of them, their team, they have really truly, both in Ahmedabad as well as here in Mount Abu, Abu Road rather, they have opened their hearts and minds to me. I think this is something so positive for someone who is not from the fraternity. So this is such a welcome and motivating factor for me. And I'm grateful to the organizers, therefore, for having invited me. And I have enlightened self-interest, I must really confess, because you know I'm engulfed in this wave of powerful vibrations from across the world. You know, whoever is watching this live or the ones who are present here, my congratulations are in order for the organizers truly for this very meaningful conclave. Because and I'm not even surprised by the utter professionalism that has been evinced here, because I always find I'm closely connected with the Art of Living Foundation. I have been with the Sri Aurobindo Ashram in the past, and one has also witnessed a lot of things. I always believe it is the spiritual organizations who are extremely proficient. If they are extremely proficient in the way they handle things, event management and so on, this is because, you know, when we from the corporates, we cannot really outdo them. I believe the reason is that they have a wider world view and they are very altruistic in what they are doing. Therefore, they are reaching out to millions across. That genuineness comes across, the transparency comes across, and therefore event management is extremely good. And for MBA students, my students who are MBA students of communication management, I always give them for specialized PR, case studies will be, you know, spiritual bodies. You know, whether it is the Akshay Patra of the ISKCON, whether it is the Art of Living S Plus program, or even the Christmas celebrations at the Vatican. We always take that as case studies of specialized public relations. And, you know, I can assure you here and now that their next case study is going to be the Brahma Kumaris. Yeah? Then today's topic is the role of mass media in towards positive transformation. It was not for nothing that media has been called the fourth estate. In the 18th century and 19th century England, they had classified the society into four different groups. The first estate was the clergy, the second estate was the nobility, the third estate was the commoners. And then because given the fact that, yeah, not so tall. Given the fact that media always wielded so much of influence over the masses as it were, and media is really the conscience keeper and the watchdog of the society. Therefore, the fourth estate was coined for the media. Of course, in the present times, when we have moved away, seem to be moving away from the traditional conventional media to the social media. Social media is looked upon as the fifth estate. And yet again, as I was talking to one of my students the other day, he was telling me, why don't we give the, member of opposition, leader of the opposition role to the media? Now that the Congress has lost it, and at least they'll be able to wield control not only over the politicians, be the gatekeepers, but they could also, kind of control the social media, because we know very well social media, while it is there, it is translating what is happening here and now across multitudes, across the globe. There is no real legitimacy or control as opposed to the conventional media. Therefore, he was recommending this, and I thought we should not dismiss whatever the youngsters say. There is some merit in it, and maybe we should really examine, and maybe you can be sitting in the parliament very soon as the leader of opposition. So that is something which is utopian, but it is something which could happen. And media has grown exponentially over the past few years, few decades, with the advent of technology. What was really the conventional, the newspapers, magazines, photography, sound recordings, film, then you have the radio, FM, of course. I'm very happy to believe that the broadcast has made a real comeback and is extremely popular amongst the youth, the radio, and television, of course. Now, all this which is there, but the current news is actually in the palm of our hands if we have the smartphone. We keep getting news updates, and what really happens the next morning when we read the newspapers is the playing out or enacting of the news, elaborating upon it. That is what it is. And I would put this down to conventional media is really what is it? Entertainment, infotainment sector, which is what it is really doing, what with the 24/7 channels you have the panel discussions and so on, because TRPs, we've all been mentioning that it is also a profit-making body. No news magazine, news channel or the, business houses, because they are all the industrialists who are really running their own media houses. And they cannot ignore the TRPs. So the bottom lines are extremely important. Given this, everyone is clamoring for providing better news, information, education, and entertainment. Therefore, I would say conventional media is really playing the role of infotainment. And media, of course, we all know is a kingmaker. Of course, we are not trying to deify you or even give you horns. And as a PR practitioner, I know there is a very thin dividing line, and we are pretty much, the same. Yeah. Being the last speaker, I am going to take the privilege of, completing what I need to say really. So please bear with me. Yeah. And media is the kingmaker. What better example can we all have than the making of Modi as the PM? And also it was the social media which was so cleverly engaged, and in retrospect, so correctly engaged by the media, by the various, image makers and the PR houses, whether it was Meccan or whether it was Madison PR, which really handled his, and where you plucked him from somewhere, of course, a successful CM from a very, development-oriented state, to put him in the house of, the power house, the power center. So this is what media has proven to be a kingmaker. And a free, independent, and vibrant media environment in India is definitely there, because we know if you look across at other states, other countries, nowhere has there been given so much of freedom of expression as there is in India. Therefore, that also translates into freedom. Always the other coin is the responsibility, immense responsibility which is there. So when you are wielding the power of the pen, you need to be always conscious of the fact that you are also, having that immense responsibility in creating that positive transformation which is required for society, for governance, and for politics. Because again, whether you are going to be, making or breaking a person, you be always conscious in really portraying the correct news. Because these days it is not news reporting, it is more review and so on, which is there. So let it go back to being objective. Whereas, it is not a personal attack. We have so many, we have lot of, from the PR angle, I would say we need more initiatives, PR initiatives from the media, like the citizen journalism which is there, which given by CNN, IBN. Then you have Save the Tiger, and you have Save the Girl Child campaign by NDTV. Why am I saying, I'm not consciously doing it? Save the Tiger and Save the Girl Child. The girl child, the woman and the girl child in this country is become an endangered species. It's a jungle out there. So we are talking about, in fact, mornings, I'm really, distressed to look at the morning newspaper, yet another rape, yet something else, atrocity which is happening. Now this is, I think for a while we are not going to shut it out by ignoring it. But then at least if we can talk about something else also which is positive, so that we also, the perpetrators of crime, we are able to translate them into better human beings, and then get away the jungle and bring them back into civilization. That is actually required, and which is the need of the hour. And of course, even if it is consumerism, you have lot of this Peredar and so many other, reality shows and all that, which are really holding a mirror to the society, and also bringing out unearthing scams if they are, and so on and so forth. So greater focus must be given on this and showcasing all these activities. And the extent of the media depends on the availability and the pervasiveness of the media. So this is what I really wanted to emphasize upon. And when I finally, because this is something which is about positive transformation, I want to leave you with these few quotes from Lao Tzu, the famous Chinese philosopher, who it's a personal favorite of mine. He says, watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. And watch your character because it becomes your destiny. So let us all carve a destiny for the young who are coming after us so that, responsible media, positive transformation is all there. So thank you for your indulgence. Thank you so much. Good day.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माया चक्रवर्ती जी।